Hello everybody, ProtoFoxy coming back at you with another video. Today we're going to be reviewing something I just got my hands on. I will put the links because I'm going to start out right away. This is definitely not an official product. They're available on AliExpress and I will drop links in the description below. But today we are going to be looking at the Mega Deformation blah 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 to form blah 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 JK, all this stuff. We'll look at the box here more in a minute, but this is actually an upsized fourth party KO, whatever you want to call it, version of the Transformers 1 Studio Series Deluxe Megatron. First off, we'll look at the box, get a look at it, and this is actually a really cool box. I think I'm actually going to hang on to this. Normally I pitch the boxes, but this one's cool. We got Deformation on the side. We have JK mock-up Transformers symbol here. 6+. We got a really cool, and I'll get it back here. Got a really cool image of the toy, actually, in both forms. There, Mega Deformation. Really cool foil embossing on the box. Mega Deformation. Carry weapons. Mega Deformation JK. Megatron. We got more long-barreled artillery, scatter cannon, dual laser gun. The box did come in, pushed in, but that's fine. We got different ways to show it. Equipped with multiple weapons, more Megatron, Mega Deformation. We've got all of this stuff here made in China, because of course it is. Don't give to babies. We have a QR code here probably to get more of this stuff. Like I said, I'll be sharing a link to this, but yeah, I think I am. Oh, I just noticed that. Look at that. That is holographic foil stamping of the, and it's probably a render, a mock-up render of the figure itself. But that's really cool. I just now saw that. That's awesome. I love it. Cool. We're going to put the box back there because, like I said, I think I'm keeping that box. That's a cool looking box, even though it's kind of damaged. But then we're going to get a look into this Megatron. And so first things first, out of the way, I will say I love the tank. I love the designs in Transformers 1 anyway. This is going to go up before my Prime Changer review. But when that video goes up, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because I want to get this up right away. I want to talk about this and show everybody, because this is definitely a great budget option for Transformers 1 Studio Series stuff, at least for Megatron, and we'll go into that in a minute. But I love the designs. The movie was amazing. I'm lamenting on the fact that we're probably not getting a sequel. The movie didn't do as well as it could have, not due to lack of the Transformers fan base, because we all went out and saw it many times and tried to do what we could, but didn't land with the general audience, and that sucks. But anyway, this is cool. I like this. He is a Cybertronian alien tank, and now I actually put the scatter blaster on the side. This is how the Studio Series toy comes, with just that, because this is an extra piece, an extra accessory. I don't know if this is KO'd from an upgrade set or what have you, because this is definitely a KO. Fourth party, whatever the hell you want to call it. But I will say more leaning towards the KO side, and and talking about it, because while the construction, and I will actually say right here, you can see it here, the posts with the ball joint going into the arms this way, and this is open on the top, and that actually helps really good for articulation. But I actually thought that this just might have been an upsized and simplified KO, but no, this is actually how the Studio Series toy is constructed. So I will say that, but whereas true fourth party stuff comes across like Black Mamba or Byway, or I think maybe Jinbao is another one, whatever, where they're basically almost like repackaged B stock of actual Hasbro figures. This definitely feels more along the line of like their own construction. It has more the plastic. Now the plastic does not feel terrible. I will say that right now. Plastic does not feel terrible. It feels more like a step around maybe what the original, not current Authentics, but the original Alpha Series Authentics, because the plastic itself didn't feel thin and hollow or insubstantial, but you can definitely tell they used more waffling and it was like a bit more hollow to keep the budget down. And then a Cyber Battalion would probably be a better example, where they don't feel necessarily as cheap, but you can definitely tell it doesn't feel as maybe substantial as a as an actual Studio Series figure. But we'll go in to some of this while, you know, and well, I will leave that off for now. I'll put that back for comparisons. But, you know, the detailing is definitely there. This is, I believe, no, I don't think that's painted. I think that's all molded plastic. Now, you can definitely tell, and you might come across more a bit in robot mode, but you can definitely see, like, maybe some mispaint sprays or, yeah, there's a bit there. You can see it. A bit of paint scuffing where that should have been black, or maybe missprays, what have you. But it's all there. All the detailing from the actual Studio Series toy is there, and it doesn't feel terrible in hand at all. Like, it does, you know, I would say more of like an early Authentic, or not Authentics, more along the lines of like Cyber Battalion, if you've all ever handled that. But yeah, and it does everything the Studio Series does, so you can get the turret to come up, and of course you got visible head syndrome there. But it does do the rotating and stuff like that. I do wish, and you know, we had something maybe to cover that up. You know, even on the original Studio Series toy, but whatever, is what it is. It works. This is based on a deluxe toy. It's an upsize, but I feel like it works. We'll put that in for vehicle mode comparisons. Now, obviously, this is definitely a whole lot bigger than a deluxe. You can see that for sure. We're going to go ahead and bring in my closest, easiest size comparison thing here, because I've been working on other reviews. So we have Combiner War Cyclonus, and he's about Voyager size, I would say, or at least 2015 Voyager size. This may make this leader size now. We'll see in robot mode comparison for the robot mode I have. But yeah, it's definitely big. Now, does he feel like a as substantial as an older Voyager class toy goes, or a excuse me a second. I had to take a drink of water. Getting dried out there. Does he feel as substantial as, say, like a current leader class toy or Voyager toy, whatever? Nah, it definitely feels like an upsized deluxe. Does it feel bad? No, I don't think so. I think it's a great, and the big thing about it is this is a great budget alternative. Like I said, I'll put the links to the ones they have on AliExpress, because they've got a couple. You know, Megatron was just the first one I got my hands on. But great budget alternative, and if you want an upsized one, if you feel like maybe these should have been Voyagers as opposed to deluxes, there you go. And it's a great design. And we're going to get into things more in robot mode. I love it. I think it looks great. And it, you know, transforming it, I don't feel like these big ham hocks here are going to like destroy anything. But all in all, as we're doing that, we'll go ahead and get into transformation. And if you've seen anything on the deluxe actual Studio Series release, you know how this is going to work. He's just bigger. And, you know, I will say, there's a bit of creakiness there, unfortunately. But that's just due to being, you know, a knockoff, whatever. But it works just the same. And again, I don't feel like I'm going to destroy this toy in hand. I really don't. So that's the thing. And actually, it does even pop off. And let's get everything going. But it does work the exact way these deluxe toy does, because again, it is an upsized version of the deluxe figure. And I got one of these for myself. Well, actually, I say that I did not actually get one of these for myself. I bought one for my son as a birthday present, and they accidentally sent me two, which I am not going to complain about, because then that means I got my hands on this one as well, and I'm happy with it. And now I'm going to go back through and I'm going to get the other ones they have in stock, which is Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Now the Bumblebee looks like it might be its own thing, because I've never seen that one, because it's not an upsized whatever. And then the Optimus Prime actually looks like it is an upsized version of the Prime Changer toy. So I'm really interested to see how that turned out. And now see, and again, I'm handling it, and I'm handling it pretty like how I handle a toy regularly. And I don't feel like I'm going to break the thing. So, I mean, the plastic itself isn't terrible. It doesn't feel bad in hand. It just, it definitely feels a bit lesser than stuff like Black Mamba or Jinbao or Baiwei, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, boom. We have Megatron, as I was yakking through that, if y'all followed that, in robot mode. And, excuse me, I will pan that up because he's tall. He's tall, he's got legs, and he knows how to use them. But he is a big, tall boy, and especially now in being upsized, looks really good. We'll go ahead and get in there for some detail. First off, that head sculpt. I love the head sculpt. I love the head design from Transformers 1. Especially when he powers up and gets the gets Megatronus' spark from Sentinel Prime. When he, spoiler alert, rips him in half. Don't know if y'all know that, but he rips him in half. But this is the look he has. And now see it again. Like I mentioned, you can definitely tell this is not more on the lines of, like, say, Baiwei or Black Mamba. Mispaint there. I don't know if that's really a scuff. It might, yeah, it looks more like scuffing there. And again, bit of an overspray there. That hand, it doesn't. But, I mean, for what you spend on this compared to trying to track down the actual deluxe toy on the secondary market, which is ridiculous, and I actually like this better because it's upsized. Yeah, and as we go over, articulation does everything the Studio Series toy does. So we all know what we're getting into. This is just the upsized Studio Series toy. And I'm going to take another drink of water. Excuse me. It's a hot day here in Joliet, Illinois. So, you know, and my kitchen is not part of the air conditioning, so we're doing some of, you know, the typical fanning and stuff, you know, because we don't have central air. We got window units and whatever. But I digress. Hot in the kitchen. Boom. But yeah, it does everything the Deluxe does. You know, a little bit of ankle tilt there. Boom. Let's get his accessories on. Now, I was displaying him this way because I really love the additional armaments, and he looks just badass here, and I was displaying him this way because look at that. That's cool looking, right? But my son on his actually did something even cooler, and now I'm gonna find a way to probably store these as opposed to putting them in his hand. But, and it really stuck out to me, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do this too. And yep, that is definitely cool. Boom. For all of you G1 Megatron fans out there, look at that. You get the pipe on his over his shoulder with the scatter blaster. He can hold these guns. He has them, you know, the one is arm mounted in the movie. We obviously get two on the toy for symmetry. But then we put this piece on and tab it in, and that tab's in there. That gives him this little wrist-mounted cannon. But that, I mean, that's cool, and that's how I'm going to display mine too. I'm borrowing that from my son. Now let's see for storage, and that'll actually even beef out the legs a bit, make them look a bit more substantial. You know, you can use the ports there, and it doesn't impede, it looks like. So he can even have, boom, yeah, look at that. That works out cool, yeah. So you can store those there and just take them off whenever, you know, and they don't get in the way of articulation. But it just, oh my God, this design, I loved it, seeing it on screen, and it is definitely good in toy form. And the fact that we get an affordable version of this now, because we don't have to hunt down a holy grail missing, and he does pose well too, by the way. I do like how this poses. You know, getting some clearance here though, you'll see. It kind of rubs there. That's a bit concerning, but if you work your way around and you can do certain whatever, and you know the transformation joints work. But I mean, that is totally cool. You know, I mean, hot damn, look at this guy. And it just strikes an imposing figure. He looks good. And just look at that. Oh my God, that is gorgeous. And then, yeah, I'm so glad my son showed me that, because that's how I am going to display that from here on out. But let's get him out of posing here for a minute, because we are going to do a couple of robot mode size comparisons. So boom, we've got, now this again, upsized Megatron. We are going to go with the first big one, and Studio Series concept art Megatron. And you look at this, they're about the same size. Yeah, look at that. Just a shade shorter. So this is actually current leader class size. That's pretty epic. So I'm guessing the other ones will be the same, but like, holy cow. You know, and again, for the price, you can't go wrong with that. And that's kind of cool. That's cool. And wow, my camera lighting actually just kind of, I saw it doing it, but hopefully it doesn't come out crazy on camera. But yeah, I mean, Bumblebee movie, concept Megatron. We got Transformers 1 Megatron there, and that looks awesome. That's cool. And yes, it is actually upsized to be a current leader class. So that's even a cooler discovery. How he looks next to a current deluxe. We've got another one. This is going up first. So this is a later review, but that is current Studio Series. So upscaled KO of the same line this guy comes from. You know, I talked about it, but I'm not going to give anything away, but I talk about this guy quite a bit. But Studio Series Devastation Optimus Prime. But yeah, wow, holy crap! And we're going to get him right back in that pose. We're gonna do that pose again, because this thing, and like I said, this is he's a lot of fun to handle. He doesn't feel terrible in hand. Like I said, it definitely feels more like Cyber Battalion as opposed to, say, Studio Series, whatever. But that's what happens when you upsize knockoff a figure. And then, some people will say fourth party, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm just happy I have it. And like I said, I'm going to be looking into the other ones too, and expect to see those reviews when I can get them in hand and talk about them. But like, I love this. This is cool. As I was looking at something, I thought that might have been some mold flashing. It isn't. It was just, again, if you have the Studio Series Transformers 1 Megatron, any typical clearance issues, stuff like that, it all exists on this toy. It is what it is. But this is cool, and discovering things as I've had it for a couple of days, and discovering new things with it now is just awesome. But yeah, what can I say? Definitely worth the price. And if you want something that is more in line with the size class people are thinking, you can't go wrong. And I mean, that strikes an imposing silhouette there. Like, that's, wow. I love it. I love it. Everything looks good. It's cool. Yacked on for 20 minutes about this toy, talking about it and comparing it and this, that, and the other thing. I will put links in the description below. Buy this toy. Hands down. I can't say it enough. Buy this toy. It's inexpensive, and especially the exorbitant prices that the actual Studio Series Deluxe is catching. You're going to spend leader price on a deluxe toy. You can't go wrong with spending a third of the price on an upsized knockoff. Fourth party, whatever. I don't, it is what it is. I love it. This is great. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, shoot a like my way. If you liked it, maybe should have subscribed my way. I'm stumbling over words now. It'd be greatly appreciated. I will say unto you this: be kind to yourself and fellow human beings, because life's short, so plan, and I will see you in the next video. Links in the description below. Buy this.